Hey everybody. So this is my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which I saw last night. Uh, Maybe some of you saw my out of theater reaction, and if you did, thank you. Um, this movie really did change the pace a whole lot. Phase 4 for Marvel has been pretty much, in my opinion, a whole huge big joke in terms of how they've been approaching with most of their projects, not all of them with most of them. But Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it really did change the pace of how it was going to end because Black Panther Wakanda Forever was confirmed to be the last movie for Phase 4. And I have to say, I think it was probably the best ending of any project they could have chosen to be for Phase 4 because this movie it really does a number to you as an audience member. The movie really does focus on grief and on the focus of loss. And Ryan Coogler said in an interview, in terms of relating to if Chadwick Boseman would have still been alive right now today, which unfortunately he's not. God rest his soul. It still would have been a grief and loss focused film because it would have been Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa dealing with his loss of time being in the blip, at the end of Infinity War. Because, at the end of Infinity War, people are snapped out of existence by Thanos, and when they come back, they have to deal with the fact that they lost 5 years. We see it with Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova in Hawkeye, which I love Hawkeye. I love that show because it actually dealt with her aspect of her facing coming back after being gone for 5 years, but for her it was like a few seconds. And 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 so you have those characters approaches to it, and then in this movie for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, we're dealing with the loss of Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, and in fact Chadwick Boseman himself. God bless him. He was amazing. I loved him as Black Panther. I'm a huge fan of his. I loved him in 42, impersonating Jackie Robinson. I love that film. I love that movie. And doing uh, crap, I can't even think of the movie right now. Forgive me. Sorry, I'm not even trying to mention it. But no, I'm a huge fan of him as an actor. He did really great movies before joining Marvel, and but again, back to the whole focus of grief and loss. You really do feel that in this movie because you know we lost Chadwick Boseman before this movie was even made, and Ryan Coogler actually did a really good job of assessing, ascertaining, and reconstructing the whole film to match the need and the reconstructing for that whole narrative that we have to deal with as an audience. Um, but overall, this whole movie kind of makes you question how you yourself, as an audience member, as a person viewing this movie, how you handle loss in time, how you handle your own grief, because we all handle grief in different ways. Now, that was one of my main pullaways from this movie. Uh, we all deal with grief in so many different, asinine, weird, empathetic type ways. And this movie really does a really great job of, handling Letitia Wright's as Cherise. Letitia Wright carries this movie, and she does a really great job of handling the pressure of being the new main focal, actor to carry this whole film because it wasn't going to be on Chadwick's shoulders, but now it's on Letitia's shoulders, and she did a really great job. I think she emotionally compelled, the narrative of the story hands down. She did a really great job. Angela Bassett, man, this woman, she stole her scenes every single time. She was Shakespearean all the way. She did it. She did it for me. And in the movie, you'll see it, and I was just like, what? What? They did that? You'll know what I'm talking about. Um, Tenacuerta's Namor. I didn't mention this in my out of theater reaction. that guy, and see, people are gonna have a problem with this character. I feel like people who are comic book, centralized. This guy got fat shamed through articles, through social media about his appearance. I wasn't even focused on that in the movie. His Namor was actually very, very well perceived. I actually liked the direction they went with his Namor. He didn't look bad. He didn't look bad at all. I feel like that was just a way to make this movie try to fail publicly. To be honest, I thought that was a pathetic attempt to try and make that actor look bad and make Marvel look bad and make the movie kind of downslide in the box office, whatever of attempt that it was. It Because when I was watching the movie, I was like, man, this guy got fat shamed on social media, and it just baffled me because it wasn't warranted. It wasn't, and but no, Tena Huerta's his interpretation of the character was great. I love that Namor. It was good. I mean, could it have been done better? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if they casted somebody different, maybe. And see when people and like for me when I saw this movie when I was seeing him Namor, you know, ruler of the seas type way, I was always thinking about the Jason Momoa, and yeah, he doesn't look like Jason Momoa, but whatever. This is Marvel. This is a different comic book universe. It doesn't have to look like him. And but again, he didn't look bad. He didn't. And his scenes with Letitia Wright's Cherie, they were pretty intense. And you kind of do understand where he's coming from, his character. You do understand where he's coming from. And again, I don't know, like his whole basis of opposition from the public and people, you know, trying to whatever they were trying to do. It was stupid. And the ending was a good little climactic, bring around, filled with action. I think it was a pretty good ending. It had a really good close on how Letitia Wright's Cherie is assessing herself and becoming the person that she's going to become. And you'll see in the movie. And now the only character I think that didn't have to be in the movie, and I actually kind of feel bad for saying it, but then again, I don't. Dominique Thorne's Ironheart. I don't really think she needed to be in the movie. I think back to it, they use her character as a way of, uh, momentum for Namor to, go forth with his intentions and his whole plan. And I get it, but I feel like they could have changed it up. They could have shifted something narratively to make it to where she didn't have to be in the movie, and still have her like debut on her own, Disney Plus series, which they're going to do, which I still think they're going to do. And I don't. She didn't need to be in the movie. I think most of her stuff is what actually made the movie longer. To be honest, in my opinion. And but again, she actually did a good job. I'm not discrediting the performance of Dominique Thorne's interpretation of the character. I think she is great as Ironheart. But did Ironheart need to be in the movie? No, not really. I mean, y'all might disagree with me if you're watching this. But thinking about it, if she wasn't in the movie, it would have just been Black Panther all the way. Letitia Wright, Wakanda, everybody in the whole civilization of Wakanda dealing, with everything, Wakanda base. You don't have to deal with this outside figure of, Dominique Thorne's Ironheart, Riri Williams. But then again, they kind of use it to bring in, Everett Ross and Dave Fontaine, Julia, Dreyfus's, Dave Fontaine character. That kind of puts into the whole narrative. Hey, the Thunderbolts are coming, so I kind of got that. Again, I think they could have changed things up to where that it didn't have to be like that. But and thinking about this right now, oh my gosh, this whole movie deals with grief and loss of time. Yes, this was very humanitarianly relative and that anybody can relate to, but I just now thought about this. Chris Evans's Captain America lost over 70 years of time, and he kind of reacted to it better. Wow, I'm just not thinking about that. Uh, wow. But again, that's not taken away from the movie whatsoever. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, great movie. Mid credit scene, it's involving the son of T'Challa, which it was a surprise, but not really a surprise. I was like, oh, okay, so they're using that. But we got no end credit scene. We got no end credit scene. I made a short a little while back about how they might tease Doctor Doom, and they didn't. When are they going to tease Doctor Doom? Who knows? Because now we got Jonathan Majors as, King the Conqueror in the picture. Maybe they're trying to do one major villain at a time. And I get that, but not even a snippet of Doctor Doom was teased. Not even just a little tiny bit. It wasn't. So that was a little bit of an expectation that I was disappointed that I didn't get to see, but that's on me. So just wanted to bring that up. But let me know what you guys think. Did y'all like it? I genuinely enjoyed this movie. A little too long? Yeah, it could have been a little bit shorter. Again, the whole, Riri Williams, Ironheart character didn't have to be in the movie. Y'all can disagree with me. Totally on y'all. But let's border rate it. Let's give Black Panther Wakanda Forever a border rated review, and I'm going to give Black Panther Wakanda Forever a 4 out of 5. I'm going to give Black Panther Wakanda Forever 4 out of 5 stars. It is actually good. I'm not going to take anything away from it in terms of my view of the movie. I think it does deserve 4 out of 5 stars. It does. And I think that it closed off Phase 4 really well. And I think most of y'all who are fans of Marvel will think the same thing too. So let me know what y'all think. Do y'all agree with me? What do y'all agree with? What do y'all don't? What do y'all disagree with? Just let me know in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next review, guys. See you soon.